Yo, what's going on, guys? Hope you guys are having a great day today. My name's Nathaniel, aka Retina, and my boy Hazars asked me to do a quick tutorial on how to get a custom avatar into VRchat. So I'm going to be using Maya for this tutorial, but they should be relevant to 3ds Max as well, which I see a lot of people on VRchat are using at the moment. So you may have seen me running around as this guy. I was going to be using this guy for the tutorial, but I think I'm going to go ahead and start from scratch and download from a free website. So let's get into it. A few things you're going to need is Unity, the game engine which VRchat uses. At the moment they're on Unity 5.1, but it's a free service, so go ahead and just download that. Second off, you're going to need the SDK for Unity, which you can find on vrchat.net/downloads. And then last but not least is the model. So you can use free websites. Just watch out for the copyrights, because you don't want to get caught up later on down the line, and you may get VRchat in trouble, so yeah, just be aware of that. So I've gone ahead and used Turbo Squid. I found this guy here on their website. I just searched up game ready characters. Oh, advertisement. I searched up game ready and I found this guy as a rigged model. So I just clicked on him, and it's just go ahead and click on download there. You download a zip file and then you just extract it to wherever you want on your computer. And then yeah, so just keeping in mind for Maya, you're gonna need a FBX file, since Max files I don't think actually are recognized in Maya. So let's go ahead, get started on the new guy. You gotta use, I use Maya just to make sure that the bones are all in the right place, and it's just pretty convenient for later on down the line if you would like to animate the dude. So I did that pretty quick, that little open, so I'll just go back. So I just went in and found him. They provided us with a bunch of different files here, but I'm using this 5K poly FBX. The 2, 5 and 8K just represent how dense the mesh is. I'm sure 8K wouldn't be too much for the VRchat, but just to be kind on other people's performance, I'm just using the middle one, the 5K poly. And they also provide you with some nice textures here. So got some nice army camo on. I think I'm going to switch it out later since they provide you with 2 different textures. But yeah, anyways, let's get into checking him out, making sure he's all rigged up and skinned properly. So you can click on this the skeleton and also turn on transparency for your mesh, and you can see that he's got the right amount of joints for a game character, which is perfect to see. This is the rig you want to see when you get a character like this, which should be pretty normal. Now to check out to see if he's skinned, which means the bones are applied to the actual mesh, you can just select a joint and hit the rotate button, and this guy's working pretty good at the moment. I'm pretty happy with him. So I'm good to take him into Unity right now. So assuming all of this stuff is working for you guys, I recommend let's just move on. We don't want to spend too much time in Maya since it can get a bit distracting, and yeah, you just want to get your guys custom avatars in. So either use the FBX file that's already there, but for this tutorial I'm going to show you that you can actually use Maya MB files. So I've already gone and saved it there, so I don't need to save it again. And let's move on to Unity. Alright, so I'm about to open up Unity here. Assuming you guys are brand new, I'm going to start up a new project here. So just click on new project at the top. Go ahead and make a name. I'll just call him the man. And make sure you got 3D assigned to your project. You don't want 2D. You can run into problems down the line when you just run into problems like textures won't load properly and stuff. Alright, so I'm just going to do a quick rundown on how the Unity UI works, just for all the new guys. If you don't want to listen, just skip ahead through the video, and yeah, so let's get on to it. Going through real quick, we got the scene here in the middle. you should see the skybox and two default assets which are loaded in, the camera and the light. So that's pretty much the scene. You can control it by going Alt left click to rotate, Alt right click to zoom, and Alt middle mouse button down. So I think that's click 3 to pen. Alright, moving on down to the assets down here, assets panel. This is kind of just the file structure for Unity, so this is where you organize all of your things you're going to bring in soon, like your character, and also the SDK will be loaded into this part. Moving up into the hierarchy, this is just displaying everything within the scene that you're working with at the moment. So you can see once again there's the light here, and the main camera is also located in this section. It just shows the shows what's in the scene, and later on you can see what's controlling what. So yeah, we'll just briefly pass on that one for now. Next up, on the right here, you can see the inspector window. This is just showing the settings of whatever you have selected at the time. So you can see the light has a yellow tinge to it. You can play around with the intensity and the bounce light and stuff, and also the camera settings here. So that was just a quick one. Hopefully you guys get enough practice and you can keep up a little bit. That's the good thing about having a video, is you can always pause and just rewatch to get familiar with it. Alright, let's move on to starting to bring some things into Unity. Trying to keep this tutorial nice and short. So what you can do is you can right click on the assets window down here, or you can do the same function through these top tabs. Go through assets, and we're looking for import package. So go import package, custom package, and now locate where you downloaded your SDK file from. So my one's located here in downloads. Just gonna click on this, click open, and it's gonna decompress the files, and because it's kind of in like a zip file. So just a quick rundown. Before you click import, make sure you go down and untick the music. The music file is actually quite big, and it's pretty unnecessary for what we want. If you guys really like Kevin MacLeod, you can always import it later, but for this tutorial, I would recommend to turn it off and go ahead and click import after you do that. So a quick explanation about what the SDK actually is. It's a bunch of files for making custom, I believe it's for making custom avatars and environments, so you don't screw up the game. It's got a bunch of prefabs and scripts, and yeah, I guess all the behind the scenes stuff. I don't really know what I'm talking about with it, but the developers have kindly provided us with their game files so we can play around with it. So let's click on the down arrow here. You can see it's brought in a new file to the assets, and we're gonna just be mainly dealing with the prefabs and the sample assets for this tutorial. So let's just keep that in mind for now, but we're going to close it, and next thing we want to do is bring in our avatar. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder just to keep things tidy, and create a folder called avatars, and this is just going to be a nice place to assign where we want our character to live, or kind of belong. Next thing, right click on the assets window, or same thing, you can go through the top tabs, go import new asset, and locate where you saved your either FBX file for your character. So mine's located here in beast mode and lame avatar tutorial, and we're going to be looking for the Maya file which I've placed here. You can theoretically use the FBX file since we checked and everything was perfect, but I'm just showing you that it does recognize a Maya MB file, so I'm going to go ahead and click import. So what it's going to be doing is importing the mesh and a few different what do you call those, a few different parts of the model of your Maya scene into the actual engine. So when you click this side arrow, It's going to show you it's got the mesh here, it has an animation applied to it, but I can't use it at the moment since it's just a T-pose animation, and a bunch of different things, but you're not really too interested in that for now. So we're just going to single tap on the package we imported, and looking up at this inspector window, it may be assigned to this model tab. Just a quick run through is the model tab just shows the scale and a bunch of different things about normal maps and the materials that you used. We won't be covering this at the moment. Blend shapes maybe in a different tutorial, but for now we're just going to be looking mainly at this rig tab. So we know this guy is a humanoid, and Unity has its own pre-made humanoid rig, and so what we want to do is click on humanoid and go ahead and click apply, and what it's doing now is it is trying to recognize which bones in your hierarchy match the default bones that's already assigned to the Unity characters. So if you go ahead and click on configure, it's going to show you your joints, and the ones in green are showing the joints that is currently being used for your character, which it recognized and is placing in the right positions here. On the right side here in the inspector window, you can see the hips have been assigned to your hip joints, and your spine has been assigned to your spine joint. So it's finding the joints that it finds appropriate and putting them in the right spot. So if any of these are wrong, say like it's trying to recognize your elbow as your foot, then you can always just go reassign these manually. But for this one, I'm pretty happy with him. He's looking quite good. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just click on done here for now. If you guys are running into problems, just be sure to come give us a message in game. I'm sure someone will be on who can help you out. Alright, so we got the rig assigned and we got our models in with the SDK. We're pretty much halfway there, if not further. Next up is to actually put them inside the scene. So you can either put them in this way by dragging and dropping them into the scene, which gives him some funny positions. I'm going to undo that by Control Z. You can also drag and drop him into the hierarchy window, and you can see he's placed at the 0 position. You can still do it the same way as before, just dragging him into the scene, but you may have to change these to 0 so you can have a true set for your true position, for your character. Alright, next up will be applying the textures to your character. So to do this, you go into the materials tab, materials folder, right click, import the new asset, and we're looking for the texture. So they've provided us with a JPEG for his texture. This should be included in your guys' FPX files, hopefully. If not, then you just give us a shout out and we can help you out again. So to assign this to your character, you want to click onto the shader here, drag and drop this texture onto the albedo section of the shader. This is just assign. I think it's pretty much a diffuse, so that's what you want to be working with. They may include in your one a normal map or a detailed mask or something, but just assign those to the correct sections of the shader. You can see he's like too shiny at the moment. This is just because the smoothness has been brought up. So if you just bring that down to 0, you can see he looks pretty much the same as he did in Maya. Alright, awesome. He's looking pretty good so far. Now we just have to assign a few things to get him into the game. But the first thing I like to do is to make sure he's at the right scale for the game. And you may be thinking he looks fine now, but what I like to do is I go into this VRC SDK folder and click on prefabs here. I use this prop chair as a example, so I'll drag it into the scene here, and I'll just zero this out. So I'll go 0 tab 0 tab 0, and when you press F now, this is the actual scale of a chair inside the game. So you can tell that this guy is a bit too big for the actual game. So what we want to do is click on the mesh either in the scene or in the hierarchy window, and then play around with the scale values here. So I've done this previously, so I'm going to go ahead and set them to the ones I know. So it's 0.009 for mine. So I do that in each axis, and you can see he's a bit more appropriate scale for what he for the game. Yeah, for the game. Alright, so I'm done with the chair now. I'm gonna go ahead and click on it and just hit delete, because I don't want that in the scene for when I export. Alright, so we got texture, we got the model in, we got the SDK in, he's got material, and now he's the right scale for the game. Awesome. 2 more things to go, guys. I know this is dragging out a little bit, but stick with me, we're almost there. Alright, so now we're applying the character controller. This means we want to tell the game when you press W, we want him to move forward. When S, he moves backwards, A is left, D is right. Luckily we don't have to do this. This is already controlled through a script which someone very kindly provided with the SDK. So to add this function, we're going to go ahead and click on add component in the inspector window. Click down here on scripts, and one more click through the VRC SDK 2, and we're looking for the third one down here, which is VRC underscore avatar descriptor. Alright, so this has more than one function, since VRchat has the ability for head tracking. It provides you with the sphere here, which is just sitting in space. You may be wondering what it does. So what it actually is the an imaginary joint between the neck joint and this sphere. So say there's a line between the neck and this. When you move your Oculus or your whatever device you're using for VR, when it moves down, the joints also move, so your head tracking is it works in game. So that's just a little brief way to think about it. So how I like to do set up my sphere is I position the sphere using these X, Y, and Z translation view position attribute. You can change the value, so the Y is up, so he's a little shorter than 1.6 feet, I suppose that is. Yeah. And you want to drag this. Just imagine he's wearing an Oculus, so I'd say if he's wearing an Oculus, that's about where the screen would be, give or take a little bit. But you guys can play with that to get it just how you want. So now he's actually able to work in the game if you want. But he's going to be running around with this T-pose on, which I'm guessing a lot of you guys would probably prefer him to have some animations, some type of walking. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to bring your guys' attention up to this animator section of the inspector window, and what we're looking for is this controller. The controller's missing at the moment, so we want to go find one. Luckily, once again, the guys with who provided the SDK have given us a sample animation controller. Let's go check what this does. So we'll double click on this, and you might be thinking, oh, what's this doing? Let's bring our attention to this animation layer. So click on animation layer. If you guys can't see this part, you may be in this perimeters tab. Just make sure you're on layers and look for the animation layer, and we're going to be working inside this blend tree. So to get there, you just double click on the blend tree, and awesome, making good progress here. You see down here in the bottom right, this may be like this small for you, so just go ahead and drag this up. We got a character here. He does all the things that we expect. He walks left and right and stuff, but you may be wanting to have your character in the windows, which is yeah, that's a good idea. So to do this, you can either drag your character from the hierarchy window down into this panel here, so by just left clicking and dragging and dropping. But since he's so small, he's actually, you can't see him within the arrows here. So to fix this, you gotta go back to the avatars, and you remember your soldier guy was actually way too big for the scene, but it will be perfect for just getting a taste of how the animations work. So just drag and drop the big dude into the animation preview window, and go ahead and click play. While you're selected on the blend tree, it has a cool function here to be able to play all animations with a little figure up here, so he's actually moving a little bit. So to view what he does, how the animations work in this blend tree, this red dot is representative of what keys are being pressed at the time, and so when you press W, it's going to go to this this dot here. Like, this is the animation. Yeah, it's an interpretation of where the animation belongs when you press W. And then same thing here with D is left or right, and then A is left with this dot here, and S is backwards. So to see what it looks like, click on play here, click the red dot and drag it up to the top, and you see he starts playing his forwards walking animation. So we press D, drag the red dot down to the D position. You can see he's going to his right, same thing left and backwards, and when he's not pressing anything, he should be in the middle, and that's his idle state. So perfect. You can see the animations work pretty good on his rig. And last but not least is to assign the animation tree to the actual character. So let's go back to the scene, click on Soldier the Man in the hierarchy window, and looking back up here at the animator, we're going to go find, we can either click on this dot next to the tab and click on assets, and we're finding this sample avatar controller. You can do the same thing by clicking down here on sample assets and dragging and dropping into the controller. It does the exact same thing, but yeah, it's just up to you how you want to do it. So that gets you through the Unity section of your character. He's all ready to go. He's got the eye controller in, he's got the movement, he's got the animations playing, he's got texture, and he's got everything he needs to be brought into the game. So that was a basic rundown of getting your guy set up in Unity. The next section I'll be explaining is how to get him from this step into VRchat. Okay, epic. You guys have done pretty good so far. So the next step is to get him from here into the VRchat. So to do this, we're just going to check a couple things first. We do not need this main camera since he's already got a camera placed on the character with that script we put on earlier. So delete that. Directional light doesn't really matter, but I just delete it anyways, just to keep a clean hierarchy. And now we have a clean export. So you're gonna click on the guy in the hierarchy, go up here to the VRchat tab. This was brought in when you did the SDK, brought the SDK in, so if you haven't brought the SDK in, it won't be displaying this tab. So next thing to click on build custom avatar from selection. Perfect, pretty self-explanatory. Alright, let's go ahead and name him, I'll call him the man. Click on save here. So it's exporting as a VRCA file, which stands for VRchat avatar file. It's pretty cool that they got their own little one. I don't know why I find it so cool, but yeah, there we go. Perfect. So that's exported now. I'm just going to minimize Unity. We should be done with this. Fingers crossed everything's right, and I'm going to go ahead and open up my Google Drive. So you're more likely to have a Google Drive than not if you use Google Chrome. But if not, this is the sharing file that I use for mine, for my models onto VRchat. So next thing to do is to go find your where you placed your avatar's VRCA file. So mine's located in here. Here it is. So here's the man.vrca file. Just drag and drop that onto Google Chrome. It's a pretty cool system they got here with VRchat. It's all like brought in from the cloud, which is I thought was a pretty efficient way to save them from buying a server, and makes it nice and easy for people to just bring it in and share it. So at the moment the files settings are set to private. So to change this, you click on share either through the bottom upload thing, you click on advanced, so it says private here, click on change, we're going to make it public. This just allows for VRchat to use your files without breaching any copyright standards. And yeah, so I'm just going to go hit copy this URL here. And the last thing, this link should be provided in the description section or just below the video somewhere, and you want to paste this link into the box and then hit go. This is your link you need for in-game. This was going to assign your avatar. And yeah, next thing is to go into the game. So fingers crossed everything will work. I'll just stop the recording here for a second and then I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just had to change my current avatar so you guys can really see that it's working. So I'm going to go ahead and open up VRchat here. Sorry, I apologize in advance. I don't have Windows, the window mode, but hopefully you guys can see this well enough. Here you can see I'm currently using my basketball guy, but what you got to do now is just make sure you're on this custom tab here, and then you want to paste that link that you got from the URL from the page before. So just go ahead, hit save. It doesn't update straight away. You have to join a server and then come back, or you can close and restart. But for now, I'll just go ahead and try out a room. So I'm gonna go try find this avatar room. 1 second, guys. Avatar. Here we go, avatar room. I'm just picking this one since it has a good representation of the lighting. There we go, downloading, fingers crossed. And if you guys made it this far and everything's working, come on. Alright, here we go, loading. Green man, look up again. Look down. Hey, I'm a soldier. Look at that, guys. Alright guys, so hopefully that was pretty easy to understand. I'll be splitting up the video for you guys, just if you want a specific section. But yeah, I try to make it nice and user friendly. This guy's actually pretty short. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this tutorial, and I'll get back to you guys with any regarding any questions as soon as possible. Alright guys, thanks for watching this, and catch you next time.